Hi, Dalia.
Hi, Danny.
This is really exciting. You're going to be the Ian McCalman lecturer at the beginning of 2021, and you're talking about a topic which is dear to my heart, art and environmental transformation. So I just wanted to ask you a few questions leading up to that. So the first thing I wanted to ask you, I know it's a difficult question, but there's nothing new about information on the climate catastrophe. Scientists have been warning for, well, depends how far you go back, but definitely for 30 years, there's been masses of information in the public sphere. So why has that not worked, given how clear the evidence is?
Danny, this is perhaps the million-dollar question that we're all asking ourselves. Why is all that information that's becoming more and more available to us not making an effect? And I think I've been thinking about this a lot, as I'm sure you have. And I think that the only way I can understand it is that on the one hand, we know the facts, the information's out there. Most of us have watched Al Gore's film. Most of us have read a lot of popular kind of scientific work on the climate crisis, species extinction, and so on. So we know. But on the other hand, I think we also don't know. And why I say we don't know is because our actions show that we don't know. The way we behave in the world reveals an ignorance. For me, this means that we both know and we don't know somehow.
So how do you make sense of, I mean, what does that mean to know and not know? Does that mean that there are different parts of us and they're not integrated? Who knows, who doesn't know?
So there's the intellectual bit of us that knows, the bit that reads the scientific papers, the bit that the science talks to, and then there's the rest of us that you could say our lived lives, our everyday lives, our imagination that doesn't know. And I think there's this gap between our intellectual selves and our other self. And this is what we need to address, is the fact that there's a gap. We know on one hand and we don't know. In a real way, we don't know.
And do you think part of that not knowing is about just how emotionally difficult it is to know?
Perhaps. I think all the reasons we don't know are there. But I think for me, that's the thing that's most striking is that, yes, we block it emotionally, but the imagination, we also block that.
Right.
And I think that's the part of us that needs to be addressed, our imagination. We really need to understand what a climate catastrophe will feel like, what it would be like to live in that. So we need to address ourselves in a more, say, feeling, visceral, embodied way.
Right.
That's the kind of knowledge that we need to be developing.
Because the future that we're being asked to imagine is so radically different to the future that we know and the future that we've come to expect.
That's it. It doesn't look like anything, and so the imagination is what needs to be developed.
Stretched.
Stretched, absolutely.
Yeah.